What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Formula America podcast. We are your hosts, Kurt and Dylan, and this is the final race of the season. Longest season, and this is it. 24 races. I know. We're going back to Abu Dhabi, though, which it's a lot of history. We were just talking about, obviously 2021, the big elephant in the room, Abu Dhabi, but man, this is it's bittersweet.
It is. Bittersweet's a good way to put it. It's exciting because the Constructors Championship is so open. Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit is freaking awesome too. Like, I'm a big fan of this circuit. There's so much to hear. Like, I was looking at the stats. Lewis is the most winningest person at this track with 5. Max has 4, though, so he could tie Lewis this weekend for wins. But Red Bull has 6 wins here. Mercedes only has 5 wins here. So this is a Max and Lewis back and forth circuit.
Yeah, I don't know. After seeing how Lewis has been the last couple days.
I'm not too worried about Lewis on this one. But what I'm saying is this is Max and Lewis's, and more importantly, Max's very winning circuit. It definitely favors that Red Bull.
All right. Speaking of Lewis, man, I think that he is so happy that this is the end finally, because I'm sure once it came out that this is going to be his last season, he probably didn't imagine that he would feel like this on the last race. I'm sure he thought it would be, which I'm still sure it'll be, an emotional time. And I'm excited for the end to see, who they allow to do donuts, because we got a list of people that are going to be leaving and all that. And
Mick Schumacher not allowed to do donuts.
Oh, that was when he started doing this donuts. Please stop. Damn. All right. So before we get into that, we do got some highlights coming into this weekend, which I just read that we are going to witness history in FP1 when Ferrari is going to have the Leclerc brothers on the same team in the same session for the first time in history.
Please crash each other out.
Could you imagine? Oh, man. So we're going to have Charles Leclerc racing or driving alongside his younger brother, Arthur Leclerc. And so that's going to be exciting. And man, could you imagine if they hit each other? Other than that, we also have Jack Doohan coming in, his first race in Formula One in a controversial decision.
You sent me that video where someone else was having a different take on why Ocon was leaving Alpine, and that was really interesting. I thought that it added an extra dimension.
It makes sense. And so what you're talking about is the fact that Ocon is going to be driving for Haas next year. Alpine is currently 5 points ahead of Haas in the championship, so they could potentially lose out to P6 or they could lose P6 in this fight if Haas scores more points. So the guy was basically saying that, this could kind of be a conflict of interest for Ocon. He's leaving. Yeah, he's been at Alpine for 5 years, but he's also going to be going to the team that they're racing against next year
with $10 million on the line.
Right, exactly. So could you imagine the like, hey, I'm gonna do you guys a favor and get you guys an extra 10 mil by just bottling this race. So he was saying basically that, to remove the conflict of interest, they're going to put Jack Doohan in, which is also potentially going to shoot themselves in the foot, because you have a brand new rookie when you're this close in a battle for basically $10 million of prize money. And so now they're essentially going in.
Dohan, I'm going to keep saying his name that way just to upset people. Jack Dohan's defense, I mean, how many points does Ocon have? 4? No, he did get that. He unfortunately got on the top step. So if we remove that, he would have 5 points.
Okay. So you're saying the chances of him scoring points pretty low to begin with. Yeah. I think the chance of Jack scoring points is 0.
Is 0. Yeah,
but,
0.
But I mean, whatever. It'll give Alpine a chance to get him a little bit more experience, because he hasn't raced in a long time at this point. And so he needs some more experience. Let's see. We have Zandvoort was just announced that they have been extended to 2026, and that is it.
Yeah, it's straight up said it will go away after that. I'm like, whoa, wow.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
It's weird because it's a fun track. People,
it's a pretty cool track. I like Zandvoort. I think it's a cool track. And the last thing I saw was that Logan Sargent has been confirmed He is going to European Le Mans to race LMP2 cars with other former Williams Academy driver Jamie Chadwick.
With other failed out F1 drivers. Roman Grosjean's there. Antonio Giovinazzi's there. Who else is there?
Giovinazzi's been killing it over
he
there,
has,
right? So
he has.
just found a home, I guess.
Shit in F1, but he's getting it in Le Mans.
Oh, man. What else do we got? All right, we got a lot of cars, a lot of drivers that are going to be leaving after this. We got, let's see, Magnussen, Zhou Guanyu, Bottas, and Colapinto. Their final races in Formula One, for now at least.
Is that it? That's the only drivers leaving right now?
As far as ones that don't have contracts for next year?
Liam Lawson is up in the air. Yuki.
Up in the air, yep.
Yeah.
So then, other than that, we got Sainz, who he's moving to Williams. We got Hulkenberg moving to Sauber. Ocon moving to Haas, who's already kind of gone. Hamilton going to Ferrari. And then the big elephant in the room, Checo Perez. Which, after that video with Isaac Hadjar doing that interview, that one, he does not.
That was not a good poker face. He went back to the media room, and they were like, "Dude,
so Isaac Hadjar did.
All you have to do is lie."
He did an interview. So he's an F2 driver. Obviously, he did an interview.
Number 2 in the F2 standings.
Yes, they were doing a press conference, and they asked him if he'd be driving in Formula One next year, and he immediately started shaking his legs, started stuttering, mincing his words.
There are confirmed things and not yet confirmed things, and I cannot comment at all on that. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
He's like, if I confirmed it, then it would be confirmed. It's like, I'm sure the PR people are off stage like, shut up.
Stop talking right now.
His legs started shaking. Like, he's like, that is a guy who is holding a secret and is about to explode.
Yes. His buddies were like, in the microphone, they're like, you know where you're going next year? He's like, I cannot.
They were egging it on.
I cannot talk about it. This is not a fun question.
He's like, next topic, please. So basically, what it looks like is that Checo Perez, a lot of the rumors are that this is his last race.
I sent
Red
that
Bull.
thing to you the other day. The highest he has gotten all season is P7. That's it. It's the highest he has gotten. Like,
it's not enough.
It's
nowhere near enough.
Not even remotely close to enough. I mean, good grief.
So I'm excited. So Christian Horner and Helmut Marko have already said that they're having a meeting, I think Monday, essentially, right after the Abu Dhabi race.
No, I'm sure.
With all the shareholders, and that a decision on Checo's future will be made then.
Can't tell me it's not already made.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet ending. You and I are going to have so much to unpack after this. We're going to do the review when we get back, and then we're going to take like a week to have to figure out how to unpack this season.
Yeah, there's a lot going into just this one race. But yeah, this whole season has been absolutely wild.
We need to do a happy hour, just put our feet up, have a drink, and talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's get into this race. Abu Dhabi 2024, man. What do we got going on?
All right, Abu Dhabi. It's the Yas Marina circuit. It's been around since 2009. It's a good length of circuit. It's 5.25 kilometers. We got, fastest lap records 126. It's a pretty good. I like these like minute 30 tracks. I think they're a good distance. 16 turns, all pretty slow. There's a ton of overtaking opportunities at this track. Like, it always puts on a good show. It's who's bold around the slow corners, who gets the exit set up right, 2 DRS zones. Like, it's usually Abu Dhabi usually doesn't disappoint. It's not generally a boring race. We got C3 through C5 tires, so softest in the lineup. 2-stop is the preference here, with the soft tire really only making a showing for quali, and then swapping between medium and hard on the race. Tire temperatures are the kind of the big talk right now. Only FP2 and the race itself starts at dusk. Quali is done in full darkness. FP1 and 3 are done during the day. So you kind of have totally different track temperatures during each one of those circuits. And with the race, you're going from sunlight to nighttime, which has a huge temperature swing. So tire deg is kind of the big issue. 2-stopper is most likely, although 1-stopper is possible. And that's all I got.
Gonna be exciting, man.
Yeah.
I think visually this is one of the better looking tracks.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that part where it goes underneath that
web.
one building. Like, it just looks cool.
It does. I love this track. It's cool. It's going to be, the race is 7 a.m. my time, Central Time. So get to wake up, watch it.
Very nice. Well, then, is it time to move on to the predictions?
Well, seeing as I can lose all of these and still win, yes, let's do it.
Well, looking at this, we have a fight going into this for P1 in the constructors.
Yes, we do.
So we've got Ferrari and we've got McLaren, who are, let's see, how many points is that? 21 points separate. So McLaren's leading with 640, Ferrari with 619. So I think that McLaren is going to have a strong weekend. I think they're going to hold on to that. I don't know if Ferrari has the consistency right now to do that.
You think McLaren is the face of consistency?
I'm going to will it into existence. I do not think that they're the face of consistency whatsoever. I feel like this could be wide open.
Wide freaking open for absolute shenanigans. I mean, maybe we'll have a car drive through the pit lane and the team not even be ready to swap the tires on it. Not that that's ever happened before, but
oh, all right, let's do it. I just wanted to say all that to set the tone for my predictions here.
All right. Who do you have on pole?
On pole, I have car number 4, Lando Norris.
I have Charles Leclerc.
Okay. Okay. I think it's going to be.
That was
it's
a very emotional. Okay, Kurt. There was a lot in that single word.
Because I don't know. I think it's going to be between Leclerc and Norris. They're the two de facto team leaders, and I think that they're going to have to fight it out. And I hope that they're very close on track because I want to see them going at it.
It is.
All race.
And I knew you were going to pick Lando to save the team, so I'm playing devil's advocate either way.
He's got the papaya army on his shoulders.
Yeah, that has not worked out well for him in stressful situations historically.
All right. P3, what do you got there?
Lando Norris.
Oh, man, that's not going to happen.
He's probably not going to be on the podium. You're right.
I'm switching mine up on the fly. I'm going with Verstappen in P3.
Ooh. Who do you have in P2?
I had Verstappen in P2, but after what I said earlier, I'm now going to put Charles Leclerc P2.
Yeah, I've got Leclerc P2.
Okay. P1, what do you got, Max?
Max Verstappen.
It's
going to continue his reign. 4 races. This will be 5 race wins in a row at Abu Dhabi for him. That Red Bull's going to love this track. And Leclerc and Norris are probably going to screw up the strategy at some point.
Or just take each other out.
Or just get random penalties.
Yeah, right.
You looked at him wrong, 10-second stop, go penalty. You're, what?
I wonder if the race director is going to be a little hypersensitive this weekend. Or if he's just going to... Maybe that's the goal. Maybe he's trying to get fired. He didn't want the position anyways.
On that note, let's talk about my wild card then.
Hold on. P1.
You got Lando.
I have Lando Norris.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot you didn't say it, but I knew who was there.
All right, wild card. Speaking of the race director, what is your wild card?
During quali, Max is going to run up on George Russell and yell and scream to give him a penalty.
Oh my God.
I want petty level 1000.
Yeah,
both of them just on a slow out lap and run right up on him, like swerve the wheel and make a scene, and then get on the radio immediately and say he impeded him.
He's going to have his team hold him in the pits until George goes out, or he's just going to like park up somewhere waiting for George to pass him.
Yep.
Because just like Alonso, he came out and said, hey, if that's what we can do, then maybe I'll just run up behind my rival and start causing a scene.
Yep. But I'm going to say Max is going to do it, because it wouldn't surprise me if someone tries it, even jokingly. But I think Max seriously does it.
I think he is just petty enough that he will do that.
And I'm totally
just
here
to prove
for
a point.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point. It's the last race. He's just here to have fun anyways.
Yep.
So
I would totally run up behind him, especially after what he said George did in that hole. Like, if it was an amicable conversation and it was a dumb penalty, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. But the fact that what Max said about George, I would totally run up behind him and demand him have a grid place penalty.
They are now mortal enemies.
I'm so here for it.
I love it. I'm so happy about that. Next season's gonna be amazing. All right, my wild card. I have Haas overtaking Alpine in the championship.
Ooh.
So that means that either a Haas car will have to come in P8, I believe. Let's see. They are currently 5 points separate those two. So P7. A P8. Well, what's that?
P7, I believe.
Yeah, P7 is 6 points. Or I need double Haas points with one of them being at least 8th place.
Yep.
Oh, that's
and Alpine can't score at all.
I know. Now that I'm looking at that, there's a lot of things that have to. That might be kind of lofty, but I'm sticking with it. Haas will take
I like it. I'm
place.
cool with that. I would be cool if Haas took P6. I hope Max does run up on George and scream and throw a fit and demand him get a grid place penalty. What, like, if he does this, think about it from the race director's point of view. If he doesn't give a grid penalty to George Russell for that, clear favoritism. Like, Red Bull's going to have so much ammunition to throw at that guy. Like, I think he's forced to concede, give the grid penalty, and then probably do like a rule change and be like, okay, we're even. No more of that. Like,
could you imagine if it just sets off a chain where just like 5-6 drivers start doing this today or on this
I'd
weekend?
Be so here for it. And it'd be so appropriate after what they did to Lando and Lewis last weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to put that dude on the hot seat in the reverse. Be like, here you go, bud.
He just quits. He's like, all right, guys, you win. I'm out. All right. Well, I think that's probably going to be it for this. And we'll be back in a few days with our recap of this. It's going to be a good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the super long winter break, but
no,
it'll be a good race.
We've got a couple of weeks of just trying to recap this damn season. Do you even remember what happened in like Canada?
No, I have to go back and rewatch. All right. Well, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Formula_America and make sure you leave us a rating and a review. Share this podcast with a friend. There's a fly I just saw land on your head.
Right on my head.
But that's all I got for this one, Dylan. You got anything else?
No, these damn flies.
All right. Well, on that note,
stay classy, America.
We'll see you next time.
Why are there flies in December, dude? It's freaking December. Why do I have flies?